That way it's you that's providing the value. So when you switch and say, hey, I want to get you guys to speak on this event that I'm doing, they're going to say yes.
If you were starting an event, the goal is like to get to like my first million or two of revenue. What's the elegant annual plan model?
I would start with small roundtables, right? Identify who my speakers are, identify who the most important people are, and start with small roundtables. So bring together those people and show them that I can create value for them. Get one sponsor. It's just a dinner, right? So let's say it's a private dining space at a Ruth Chris. They're going to charge you $7,000 for 15 people. And out of the 15 people, you're going to have yourself and one sponsor, right? So then you're going to invite and ensure that you get maybe 10 to 13 of those, in our case, in commercial real estate, owner, developer, investors there. Knowing what matters to them, it is being together with their peers, the sponsors. So in this case, the developers, they are that's a bad use of the term there because I'm talking about sponsors in a couple different ways. In commercial real estate,
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. We have PE sponsors and
exactly.
like marketing sponsors.
So just use developers. So you get the developers there. The developers need capital. They need equity and debt in order to do their stuff. So out of, let's call it the 10 that I'm going to have there, I'm probably going to have 5 to 6 of the developers. And then the rest of that group is going to be capital providers, split pretty evenly between GP and LP capital and debt providers. And then the sponsor is going to be someone who gets business from their interaction. So a broker, for example, or a transaction attorney. And I host those. And I hope that people can get value out of that meeting that I'm doing. And those you can do pretty frequently, right? So I would do one a month, build those things up, targeting $5,000 to $10,000 in sponsorship at the very beginning, and making it clear that these are founding sponsors of something. The price is going to go up. You are helping me build this thing, so I'm letting you in at this lower price. So then when I come back next year and I'm charging 25 or 30 because I've proven that this is the valuable thing that I'm doing, they're going to say, okay, cool. Yeah, we're in and we're going to spend that money with you because we've seen what you can provide. I build that out. I brand it where it is me that's pulling these people together so that I have a
personal brand.
Personal brand. And then I hire someone that runs those for me underneath me, right? And they are going to continue to do that. And that is, $100,000, $150,000 of revenue that one person's doing. They're paying for themselves to operate. We get trades with the restaurants because we say, hey,
is there like a precursor, leaner version of that where before, like if you're starting and you're building up, like, is there, like, you do the first one or two by yourself, or maybe you hire like a contractor or whatever, before you can hire like the full timer? Is there like a scrappier version of that you'd recommend?
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to hire someone expensive. I mean, you could literally get an intern to help out because the bulk of it, if you are doing the identification of the people, which is a one-time thing, right? You go in, you say, here's the 75 to 100 most important people in XYZ industry in this market. You just need someone to come in to send the emails. Again, going back to AI, I'm sure there's platforms out there that can take a list and fire off emails and interact with people to get them to come. But you want to build your own brand. So you want you to be the person who's inviting these people. That way it's you that providing the value. So when you switch and say, hey, I want to get you guys to speak on this event that I'm doing, they're going to say yes, and then that's the biggest thing, is building that community. When Bisnow started, Mark was writing about these people. They knew him personally. They respected him. When he called and said, hey, can you get up on stage? They said, yes, of course. I mean, this goes up to billionaires like David Rubenstein and them saying, yeah, Mark, we'll definitely do this. You remember every phone call that we had was explaining to people what Bisnow was and then trying to get them to speak for us or give us money. I'm so happy, and a lot of people at Bisnow don't understand that. Our phone calls do not have any bit of that anymore, even in markets like St. Louis and Indianapolis and Charleston, where we send an email at Bisnow and they go, we know what this is. We respect this platform, and we're gonna go and join this event or speak on this event or that kind of stuff. So it's been great to see how much we've grown just in that sense in such a small period of time. But when you build that, that's the small thing that you work on. And once you have enough of those key individuals, then you start planning your events. So let's say you start in January, you're hosting these small roundtables, using DC as an example. You're pulling DC, Maryland, Virginia people in. You're hosting these small roundtables. You're getting enough sponsorship interest where each one of those is getting a new sponsor on board who finds value in it. You're creating demand. right? The sponsor in the first one comes back. I'm going to do another one. Well, you can do the third one because the second one's sponsored by someone else. And you start to build this up to when you've got a point of, I've got enough sponsors that are interested in what I'm doing.